You know, freestyle lean? You know how to freestyle lean. Come on, bro.
Nah, bro, chill.
Let me see, get everybody to join. Oh, Brizza, B. Ryan in the house. What up, B?
B. Ryan.
Yo, B. Ryan killed it, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Son,
bro,
this
people
cat.
Be sleeping. People be sleeping. Yo, straight up, yo. Major shout out to B. Ryan. Like, he's been like my dude.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get him on here too.
Him, you know, like the last 8 years or whatever, we just been trying to push each other, you know. So.
Word, yeah, he on another level, bro. Like
yeah.
You know, yeah, you, Flake, B. Ryan, Felix was holding it down.
Yeah,
too.
Of course,
Felix yo, he was holding it down, like straight up. Like, man, it was dope, man. It was a great vibe at Temple Rock. You know what I mean? Shouts to Shaolin Production. I'm actually gonna have Shaolin Production
on. Shout out to
to see holding it down.
Quality DJs and
DJs. Bro. So I'm gonna have.
Quite honestly, I feel like that doesn't happen enough in the U.S. You know.
Yeah. Like, exactly. It's just silverback.
More of these quality DJs, you know. I know like people kind of cheap out on that, and it's just like that's a big reason why the scene isn't really popping the way that it should be popping, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hard thing too, you know. Like there aren't really a lot of, in my personal opinion, there aren't really a lot of DJs that are actively in the scene that are really like killing it like that, you know. Like there's probably only a handful. So
yeah, they just gotta do their homework.
Yeah, there's a lot of homework. That's the thing, though. You know, like it's hard for anyone to make that sacrifice because there's not a lot of money behind it. For one, for two, it takes a lot of time, and for three, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, what I know is about, all you guys is you guys put in a lot of work, man. You know,
a lot of work. Though. Like a lot of people they don't see that, so I guess they don't respect it in the same fashion because they don't see it. Shout out to Flo, Floor Lords in the house.
National Flo. What up, Flo? Yo, he always be posting some status like, I was like, oh, damn, he got some shit. I was like, damn, son. Like, where you at right now? You know what I mean? I was like, damn.
In the hood.
Like, gotta pack that heat, bro. You know what I'm saying? that you know, man. So what we were talking about? Yeah, we were talking about the vibe and all that. So let's get into that energy versus feeling, right? Yeah, that's one of the topics we're going to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
So let's go into that, bro.
Yeah, so I feel like younger kids, they're into the energy, you know what I mean? Like they just want the hype shit, you know, like they want to hear the hype music all the time. Like they don't care if the music is good. As long as it has energy, that's all they care about. But if you run into more of like the mature dancer, then they care more about the feeling of the music, you know what I mean? Like the feeling needs to be right. Just the music has to be right, you know? So it doesn't really matter if it's hype or if it's chill, as long as it just brings that feeling.
Right.
So I think there's right now I could tell when I'm DJing, like there's a big gap with that, you know? And I feel like a lot of times younger guys, they can misinterpret a lot of energy or that hype energy to be good music, and sometimes it's like, yo, this shit's trash, you know? And it's like, it's about giving it a balance, you know? You play stuff with energy, but also playing stuff that might not have as more energy, but just something that just feels good, you know? Because when it feels good, you feel like you just dance better. Because when it's just high energy and maybe the music doesn't feel right, then it's like, it's just a lot of fast movement.
Right.
It's not really like coming out organically.
Right. Like you push yourself, like, you know, and not just naturally come out with those movements, you know? Yeah, I see that too, man.
Respect. As a DJ before, I understood that, but I had to start understanding that more as a producer. So that's been taking me time, because as a DJ, you just pretty much, you're digging up for things that you like naturally, whether or not it has energy or whatever, you know, like you're just picking up music that gives you that feeling, you know, like once you put that needle on the record and if that groove feels right, you're like, damn, I'm going to take this shit home. Like, this is dope.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Because...
And then maybe it works for battle, maybe it doesn't, but it's just like in the process of digging, you just picking music that you like. Whereas I think in the production world, you could do that too, but it's a little bit harder to say if I have to like produce for the BC1. Because then it's just like, it's in a stadium and I'm thinking more about these things. So it gets tricky. So I've been really learning and understanding music on that spectrum more than I did before. Because before it was all about feeling, but now it's more of, I guess, the science and understanding even why the music has feeling.
Yeah, I mean, from a
like
dance...
simple things like, you know, Fleg and I always talk about it, like a lot of the times, a lot of producers in the b-boy scene, like the drums that they use should be stiff as hell, you know, like it doesn't really have the funk. So when you listen to a lot of the James Brown records or whatever, like even the little mistakes, whatever, like that kind of gives it its character, and that's what gives it its funk, you know?
Exactly.
So just like that swing, it's just like your body moving naturally. But if you're just producing some shit and the shit is like super stiff, then it just kind of lacks the feeling.
Yeah, and that goes for dancers as well, right? I mean,
it's hand in hand. I'm saying though, you know, like it's about making and finding the music that naturally moves dancers in an organic way.
Right. Yeah, I think, and I think it's from a breaking perspective as a dancer, right? I think it's important for a new generation to understand that concept. You know, like there's time for everything, right? So BC1, you're gonna get more of the energy type, right?
Yeah.
But if you go to like the local jam, like Shaolin Production with Temple Rock, it was just raw vibe feeling. So if you enter one of those,
you know, BC1's only 2 hours too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At a jam, it's usually longer. So you can't play music like that for fucking
2 hours. Yeah.
You know?
So what I'm saying is for b-boys and b-girls, they gotta be versatile, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like for me, I always think of there's knockout rounds, you know, and there's the, you know, show my, you know, quality artistic side. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I feel like for breakers,
there's a difference between how you're gonna cypher and how you're gonna battle. You know what I mean? In the cypher, you just kind of letting the music dictate whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to throw a crazy ass round. You just kind of feel it out. It's more of just you like being in the moment and just feeling the music. You know? And then I guess battle you're kind of forced, so it's more about battling. So okay, now I gotta throw out these knockout rounds. I throw out maybe a couple blow-ups or whatever. So it's not as organic, you know. But the problem is, I think a lot of times is, and I've also realized it on my own side is, you know, I made mixes just for the moment. I didn't really have that attitude like, damn, people are gonna be listening to this for years, or there's gonna be thousands of people listening to this, you know. Like I was just like, I just want to make something because I feel like making something. So if you notice that a lot of practice spots, like they won't even play a different variety of kind of music. Like they'll just play maybe, you know, maybe a mix of Flega or myself, and maybe it's more of the songs we play in battles or whatever. But they want to play that throughout the whole practice, and it's just like, you know, like you want to play different styles of music, you know, and different feels of music. Like you don't want to play just that high energy music all the time, you know. And I think that's where the misinterpretation comes, where they don't understand that and they always want high energy music, and it's just like, yo, like there's a time and place for that, you know. Yeah,
I agree. I mean,
and I guess it's a little bit harder now because people have access to it so instantly now. To where they could literally, before it was like, all right, you had to actually physically take a CD and put it in the radio, you know, and or boombox or whatever, and you would play it, and then that's it, it's over, you know. But now you could literally like just go on your phone whenever you want and just throw on a mix.
Mm. Yeah,
and everything's so instant now, so people don't appreciate it as much.
Yeah, I see new generation.
There's just too much information now, you know, like they don't know how to process things the same way that we did.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been part of the reasons why I haven't really made a mix in the past couple of years, because I'm just like, man, what do people expect me just to create something like night and day, like within a day or so? Like, I had to really like sit back and just chill and just like soak it in and just see how things were moving, because everything's just moving so fast. So it's like, you know, you could be battling at one event, win an event, and then no one cares about it the next week. And it's the same thing with music. Like, I could come out with some music, but then literally the next week, there's so much shit that happened that no one cares about it. So for me, what I'm more about is just like, yo, like, come to the jam that I'm spinning at, and I'm going to try my best to do my best to bring that feeling. And maybe that will be memorable for you, you know? Because at a jam, you can get more open. On a mix, it's just like, I mean, you could make a long mix or whatever, but it's not the same when you have a room full of people and you're doing your thing. Because you're like feeding off something. With the mix, it's kind of like, it's more of like a science project almost, you know?
Right.
So it's not the same. It's not like a lot of feeling behind it. It's just you like constructing something together and putting it together. And yeah, maybe it could be a good mix and it does have feeling. But it's different when you're at a jam and you're just feeding off the energy.
Yeah, I see a lot of new generation dancers. They don't know how to react when a slower feeling type,
react the same way. Like, they don't know how to like change.
They don't know how to switch it up their movements.
All in one gear, you know.
So my question is: so do you think it's your responsibility as a DJ to educate them based on your music, or what?
I mean, definitely. And eventually, I will make a mix again and put something out. But I'm just trying to find the right space and right time for it.
Right.
It's a lot of work, you know, and I want to create something that I know that I'm proud of and that I know will withstand the time. Because I feel like the attitude that I had before, it was good for that moment, but a lot of those mixes I don't like because I know I didn't really like put a lot of time into it. To have that mentality of knowing like, yo, this is going to have an impact in that way. Because when I made those mixes, it's like, yo, I made it for almost myself. You know, it's just like, I just want to put something out. You know what I mean? Challenge myself, see, you know, what I could come up with in just a matter of a few weeks or whatever. And now it's just like, I'm really thinking about the impact that the music has, you know? Because I didn't think about it. I was just more in the moment and just creating the music or finding the music that I, you know, wanted to play. So it's a different ballgame now, where I see, I guess, now I do have, you know, people that are following my work or whatever, and I want to make sure that I come correct, so.
Word. That's dope to hear, Lean. You know, and that's the thing with you. I mean, that's part of your journey, right? I mean, you learn from experiences, and you know, from all those little mixes that you did. Now it's like the time where you learn from everything that you did in the past, and like, okay, let's really put a focus on this main one right here, this next one, and it can take a year or what have you, but when you release it, it's going to be like, whoa. You know? And that's the key is you're able to grab the attention of the new generation, the youth, right?
Yeah.
And then now get their attention, and then boom, here's Lean Rock, masterpiece. And that's when you're going to talk to them.
I feel like, personally myself, I felt like I haven't made a mix like that yet, you know what I mean? Where it's on that lacy level where it's just like, yo, like this shit, you can play 20 years from now.
Right. from beginning to end.
I was a lot younger, so I just wanted to do things quick and fast, and just wanted to like constantly pump out the best shit that I could within that time frame, but not thinking on those terms. And I feel like it's important for someone like me because we talked about it earlier. I have access to a lot of that firsthand knowledge, to where I can just call up Jazzy J and like just get game from him, or Grandmaster Kaz or Theodore. Like
that'd be dope if you collaborate with him, bro.
To that, I definitely keep that in mind. Where it's just like I have to keep that essence alive in order for it to stay alive. Because over time, a lot of these guys are gonna go, like they're gonna pass away. So it's important for someone like me that has access to it and to share with this new generation.
Right. Will you ever be interested in doing collaboration with them? Like, just say a Jazzy J and Lima.
Hell yeah.
That'd be ill.
Actually, Kaz hit me up maybe about like a year or two, and he wanted to like rap over some beat or whatever.
Oh.
But personally, for me, I feel like the beat wasn't dope enough for him, so that's why I'm like, nah, not having to do with him, but just with myself. I'm like, I gotta come correct,
Come correct, right. Yeah. I mean, Casper rapping? Nah.
No, we don't want to hear that.
We don't want to hear that.
We don't want to hear that.
Casper. Yo, Casper's funny, man. But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. I mean, when you release that joint, that's gonna be you know what I mean? So take your time, bro.
Yeah, let me take my time.
Yeah, take your time, you know what I mean? And I want you to take your time because when it's released, that's when you be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So that's dope, man. Just to hear you on that mind frame, what's coming in the future for you, There's some question right here. Somebody asked, do other DJ have to pay you to play your shit at jams? Yo. Well,
sometimes you get him,
royalty, you know what I mean?
I mean,
like
that's
them
been
checks.
happening for years. I mean, before I used to kind of get pissed off about it, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like, what am I gonna do? This guy in China's like maybe playing a bunch of my music off a mixtape, whatever. There's nothing I can do about that,
With your name on it, DJ Lee Rock.
And the attitude that I do have now is like, I gotta be on some next shit anyway. So even though he might be playing that old shit, I gotta be on some new shit already,
Right.
And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, man. Gotta keep creating and reinvent yourself, Yeah, that's
awesome.
how. I mean, that's how we stay in the game anyway.
You don't want to be like someone that's old and bitter, and just focus. Oh, I created this.
Right.
That's it. Like, nah, you got to constantly evolve. So.
Right. And that's the thing. Sometimes they do in the spirit of like they look up to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of them probably do look up to you.
Yeah, and they don't have the mentors to check them. You know what I mean? Or people to tell them, check them and let them know, like, yo, that's just whack, bro.
Right. Yeah, it's just that, again, that disconnect, because they are from overseas. You know what I mean? Like China to even like.
I mean, it happens in the U.S.
small
too,
country.
though. Like, not everyone has that access to getting checked.
That's true. Right. Omar said, what happened to Smurf in Austria? I plead the fifth. But
someone was on his back riding him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was fun times.
Save him.
They put us into like our room looked like a prison cell. That was funny as hell, man.
And, the funny shit about it? You remember where Ness was staying though? He had the nice hotel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
we have to like share the whole like bathroom area with
we're like
guys.
we came in there at the pre-party mad. We went on stage and performed.
This is what happened. I asked you for it was like the hotel, and you like sent me the picture, and it was actually where Ness was staying, but that's not where we were staying.
Yeah.
We ended up staying in a hostel, and Ness ended up staying in a nice hotel. Like,
bro, I was like, what? Yeah, and we went to the pre-party. I think they were performing, and then we went on stage and started calling people out.
Oh yeah.
We just didn't care. We were like, yo, we here. Yeah, that was fun times. And then we got the whole jam mad at us.
Yeah. They hated us.
Yeah, it was fun times, man. So we want to talk about a deeper topic, right?
Okay.
Because seeing your posts a lot of times about mental health, and I feel like that's a very important topic within our community. We should speak about it, and so I want to have this platform for you to speak your mind about that topic, because I know you deal with a lot of anxiety, and all that.
I mean, shit, when we first started doing this interview, whatever, I had mad anxiety, like just even trying to think of my history. It was so hard for me to even think of all this information, because I've been in this for so long. So I'm like, damn, I don't want to forget this person. I don't want to forget that. So just like things like that, like it affects me, like. And I guess once you start understanding like life a little bit more as you get older, you start understanding like triggers and sorry.
No, that's all good.
My girl's like talking over here, so I lost track.
No, that's good.
So you like start understanding your triggers, and you start understanding just how one thing could affect another thing that you do. So for instance, if I wake up and I eat a bad meal, that could affect maybe the day that I have at work or whatever, And then me not feeling right, I could be in my head, or I could just be in a pissed off mood, and maybe I get into an argument or something with someone, and then something happens. So it's just like all these chain of events. So once you start like studying these things and you start understanding it more, then you understand the importance of self-care. And it happens a lot, I think, when we travel. Sometimes we got a long trip that we have to fly 12 hours. Maybe there's a flight.
Yo, Lane, you broke up, bro. Hello?
Get stuck somewhere, and then we get to wherever we need to get, and maybe no one's there to pick us up at the airport. We're like all pissed off. We can't eat, and we have to go straight to the jam. And it's just like all these things are just like accumulated stress. And it's just crazy sometimes, like how that could affect you and how you perform, and even just after the whole fact. So before, I used to like drink a lot or whatever and just find ways to coping with it, because it's not a normal thing. I don't think we're actually supposed to be traveling the way that we do. It's not how humans were supposed to be on this earth, With all these planes and all this crazy shit that's happening, just how fast all this information is getting processed now with us having our phones, and these aren't natural things. So
right.
I think that's why we're seeing more and more people go through depression and anxiety and other mental illnesses more and more now because of these things, So self-care, just resting, eating well, exercising a little bit. Just a mixture of all those things are important for us keeping our mind right. And sometimes it is hard for some of us too, like for especially a lot of people that live in the hood or live in bad areas, they go through a lot of traumatic experiences. And to deal with all that, the anger and all the grief and all that, like it's a lot, It's really a lot that we have to deal with. And then just even within the scene, like we kind of have this macho attitude sometimes, like the dance is very competitive, So a lot of people don't fuck with each other. and we definitely have, a lot of us have a lot of haters or whatever, and dealing with that could make or break people, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't know how to cope.
Yeah, if you don't know how to cope with it, and if you don't understand what it is at its, like, most singular point, then it's hard for you to understand what you're actually going through. So I think at first, like maybe 4 years ago, I was really going through that, you know? Like, I was partying a lot, and there was just so much shit happening, and I wasn't really taking care of myself. So then I had, like, crazy panic attacks, and it almost made me lose my mind, you know? So I had to, like, really sit back and just chill and just observe, you know, and just start.
Self-assess yourself?
Yeah. And just kind of change my ways. Because the hardest thing with it is you're so used to being a certain way or doing certain things that it's like, damn, I feel like a totally new person. So even accepting that is difficult. Especially like when you have like anxiety attacks. It's just like, dude, this shit feels like it comes out of nowhere, but it actually doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's just kind of like a build-up. You know, something could trigger it. And then from that moment, it's just like, damn, this is just crazy, you know? Like, I don't know how to deal with this. So you got to seek help. So I went to therapy, and she broke down a lot of things, and just with meditation and just understanding what my triggers were. Just accepting things and being more in the moment.
Right.
And not so caught up in the past or the future. So they say, like, being caught up in the past and you're sad about the past, that's depression. And then being caught up in the future and thinking so much about the future, that's anxiety.
Right. Yeah, I think our brain is wired that way, you know?
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, when something crazy happens, we go into fight or flight mode. So I don't remember exactly the name of it, but there's something in your brain that whenever like a traumatic experience happens, it triggers that, and then it's like almost like an animal instinct where you go in fight or flight mode. So it's hard for you to even process information in your head because it's just like your brain is just racing, you know? Your heart is racing, your brain is racing, so it's just too much for you in general.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I talk about it with Poe, you know, in my episode. I don't know if you've seen it.
No,
and I feel like a lot of us who came from that environment have this issue, right?
Yeah, they call it PTSD.
Yeah, it just trigger you. I mean, nowadays, you know, I'm at the age where I can control it, right? I just know when to control it. Like, I feel like this pressure start coming up. Like, if somebody like pissed me off, you know what I mean? I'm like, before it would just voila.
Just react. Yeah.
Right. You don't know how to process it. You just feel this feeling and just react, right? You just start going ham, right? But nowadays it's like I gotta tell myself, I'm like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're tired. Just, you know, just calm down. You know, I gotta talk to myself.
Because what happens too is just like after you do something, there's always like, damn, why did I do that? You know?
Right.
There's always that. So it's good to like observe and not get so caught up in those feelings, and then checking yourself immediately. As soon as it's starting to happen, but it's obviously hard for someone that's younger.
Yep, I agree.
All this shit is new in life, you know. So all these issues that they go through are new, but you know, things reoccur, and you start learning how to deal with certain things and just stay in just peace, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You gotta find your cope mechanism, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at my age, right now I found like nature helps me, right? Being out in nature, being at the beach. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I moved down to Florida. You know, it's just be around nature, by the beach and whatever. Because back at home, it's that life, man, that inner city. Even though I moved away, but you know, I still got cats in the hood that will pull me back. You know what I mean? And I just like, yo, I want to get away from all of that. I mean, they still my boys, but just get away from that environment. You know what I'm saying? And put myself into a different environment where I can cope to be at peace. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it helps, you know, day in, day out. And then you find yourself and you kind of like, okay, this is, I can control myself, you know, and I found myself nowadays, I can control myself on certain things. And I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? Because honestly, if somebody keep doing this, you know, if I say, yo, chill, and then somebody keep, you know, egging on, yeah, I'm going to snap, you know what I mean? Yeah. But at least nowadays it's like, I can walk away. I'm glad that brothers like you were speaking up, and, you know, big shouts to Polsky, right? For having that panel, and I watched it. I'm like, wow, this is great. I mean, that's other people in our community having the same type of, you know. Yeah,
and it's taboo, you know, like, people don't really like talking about it because it's so personal.
Right.
What actually helped me going through is actually talking to others and understanding, like, yo, it's actually more normal than we think.
Right.
People to be going through similar situations, so.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
Like, yo, this other person's going through almost the same exact thing that I'm going through.
Right.
And learning sometimes that, you know, like how they cope with it, and then it's all like a puzzle, you know, like with you building with different people, you learn different things, and it can help you in your situation.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. People's got to find that cope mechanism, man. And that's my only solution is I know Candy, you know, Candy, she have issues as well, and she always talk about it, you know. And I told her, like, hey, find your cope mechanism, because that's what helps me. You know, so find the one that you really, even just strip everything away, right? Strip, you know, forget hip hop, forget everything. Just what makes you happy in the moment right now. So that's what you need to find, you know, and that's where you're gonna be at peace. You know what I mean? So I mean but I feel like a lot of our elders have this issue, and they haven't found themselves yet, right? And they're at the age where I wouldn't say it's too late, but they don't want to change for the better, right? They're so stuck in their own ways.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, after
when they're 50 years old,
it's hard for them to understand that, you know? And you can't really blame them. It's just, I think we have more access to a lot of this information now because people are more educated on it now, you know? Especially that it's so often that there's been a lot of suicides. There's been like so much shit that's been happening the past 20 years or so. Mainly, a lot of it because of the internet. So with all this information that we're just traveling around and all this information that's being processed, like it's just too much in general. But within that, there's some good information, especially when dealing with mental illnesses. It's obviously easier to communicate and have the information out there, whereas before you probably had to like read some books and have to really seek that knowledge. Now it's like available. So
Chess Skill said, check out Dr. Dispenza. Word. Thanks for that, Jet Skill. I'm gonna check that out, see what's good. But yeah, I think it's very important for a lot of us, you know, to just be out front, you know, more with it, you know, and start dialogue, you know, and whenever I speak about with you, Paul, whoever, it you know, it's like, wow, okay, there's other brothers and sisters that deal with the same, you know, issue. It's crazy.
And it's hard for artists because sometimes there's no like financial stability.
Right.
In our scene, there's a lot of, you know, crabs in the barrel, and they're all like picking at each other and just people just doing a lot of dumb shit, you know? And it's just like people
Right.
suffer from that.
Yeah, you
And
kind
a
of
lot of OGs suffer from that. Like it sucks to see them because they have so much knowledge and they have so much that they gave like to the game that it's hard for them to like just sit back and like absorb things and just really build on that level because they feel like maybe they're owed something or whatever. Mm-hmm. Because now they don't have the ability to like retire and just chill, you know? Mm-hmm. Like they're still like grinding and doing whatever they have to do. And they're not like just happy with where they're at because they feel like, oh, I dedicated my life to this and this is what I get. So.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I mean, sometimes, you know, I feel bad. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be laughing at some of the things that I be saying.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, the reality is this, though, you know, like, for what we do, there's no 401k.
Yep, exactly.
So you have to also understand, like, there's no security in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And just reminding yourself that, like, this shit could be taken away from you, you know? Mm-hmm. And maybe you get injured or something, and what else are you going to do if breaking is the only thing that you do? So it's also important to try other things as well.
Right. Yeah.
Not stick to one thing.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, fortunately, it is getting a little bit better. Like, you know, there's probably going to be more money thrown into breaking, but we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No one shows any of that for that, you know, unless maybe you join on a theater show or something like this, then it's like, then you have kind of that safety.
Speaking about that, what else will you do if not breaking or DJing?
I mean, there's plenty of things you can do. You could be a physical therapist and, you know, use that to your advantage. Train athletes, train other dancers, work on that. You could get into video production, music production. I mean, there's countless things. It just depends on what you're interested in. I guess part of that is trying things out first, too. So one thing that I learned from my dad was just like, even though at first, funny thing is, he actually tried to get me into music production at first. So
wow.
Yeah, we were making all these beats off of GarageBand for like one of the Flavor Squad DVDs. And I hated it, dude. Like, I hated it so much.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because I just thought it was whack, like the beats that I was making. So
Right.
And I wasn't that good at it, so I was just frustrated. So then years later, I ended up being put in that position again. I was just like, all right, my attitude's different now. So that, you know, that's one way that ended up happening for me. But also, he got me into like making flyers or like graphic designing at first, and I hated that too. I mean, I still don't really do it, but
right.
He made me try like different things, you know. And he was just like, "Yo, just try it out. Maybe you won't like it, maybe you will." And I think that's important, is just to try different things sometimes, and like put yourself, I guess, in an uncomfortable position. And then a lot of times, what happens is you end up liking things. You know, it's kind of like that with DJing. Like at first, I didn't want to be a DJ because it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was harder than I thought. And then, you know, I come to fall in love with it. So you just got to try things and just stick with it.
Right.
Sometimes you won't like it at first. And if you really hate it, then you don't have to stick with it. You know, it's just a matter of just trying different things in life and not just doing one thing and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Yo, shouts to Legs, by the way. He's in his joint. Or
shout out to Legs. We had a good time in Argentina together.
Who's on here? Jeskill, Irvin. Yo, what up, Irvin?
What up, Irvin?
You hold it down as well. Toxic.
No. The Toxic, Brats.
Lab Rats. So let me ask you this. What makes you really happy? Like when you spin or what?
Yo, quite honestly, my favorite thing is when I'm at a jam and I see the OGs getting down. To me, that's like the thing, because then I know, like, yo, I'm doing my thing. Because, you know, for them, in order for them to dance, you know they got to be feeling the music. So that's what makes me happy. So anytime, you know, at Flola's anniversary, I'll see, like, incredible breakers or even someone like Legs, whatever. Even if I see them, like, just nodding their head or whatever and they're into it, that's what I'm paying attention to the most, because for them, it's just like, this is their culture, and you know that they're actually feeling it, you know? It's not like this forced thing.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I mean...
So I always pay attention to that, because it's special. These people are the ones that laid down the foundation of what we do, so I always enjoy that. Quite honestly, I like spinning for, you know, a lot of the older rockers, too.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like, because, you know, they get it in.
Yeah, I mean...
It's also a similar thing, like, they're into the music, and they're just getting it in, like...
Incredible breakers, you know, Chino, you know, like, they all get it down, like, just 7 gems.
You know, 7 gems. Nako.
Yep.
Ken, all these guys.
Rock. Yeah, what I love about you, though, Lean, is even though as big as you are in the scene, right? Like, you know, everybody know who Lean Rock, you getting booked all over the place, but you always find the time to acknowledge those that came before you or acknowledge the OGs. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, we can't lose touch, because, I mean, that's the beginning, right? So that's very dope. You know, somebody on your caliber just always, you know, talk about the OGs and the importance, you know, of their contribution and how they add value to gaming, to how where we are now, to how you took it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It didn't just start with you or, well, you know, oh, Lean Rock, this and that, and you always shout, well, it's me, but, you know, I have a mentor, I have...
Yeah, but I also do that for other people that I feel are doing their thing too, not just even the OGs, like right. I always try to make sure, like, the homie B. Ryan gets love or whatever.
Right.
Or like guys like Timber that might be from, you know, more of this era, but were inspiration to me as well. Because that's something that I learned from my dad, you know. It's just like, it's important to pay homage to people while they're here doing their thing. Because not a lot of people get to witness what you witness. And it's important to share stories and to share that energy with everyone. So I always try my best not to make it about myself, but to make it about the people that inspired me as well. Whether it's from the past or from my era or from this next generation.
Right. Word, bro. Someone asked, the representation of most jams seems authentic, even though just watching YouTube. How would you relate with the cultures? And boys mostly authentic? I don't get that question.
I kind of get the first part of it. I mean, you can only get so authentic with the YouTube video. I mean, it's not really live, so you're missing out on a lot of the actual live energy and live audio.
Right.
So, of course, you can see people, like, giving mad props or whatever, or you can tell maybe the battle's getting heated or whatever, but I think it can only get so authentic on a YouTube video. Doesn't really capture.
Here's my question for you. What do you see the music within our scene in the next 5-10 years? I mean, for me, I feel like cats like yourself, you know, Irvin is in here, B. Ryan, you know, like what's your vision, because for me, I feel like y'all visionaries. You know what I'm saying? Not just a bunch of DJs just get on, just produce, but I feel like there's a vision. I always start with a vision, and that's how who y'all are today, right? So it's always that vision. And so my question is, again, what's your vision for the music aspect within the breaking community for 5, 10 years,
Hard to say, but it's more of a matter of what we do in the moment. Doesn't change history. So I'm more focused on the moment than thinking so much on the future. I guess the only thing that I think about is like we were talking about with the mixes, is being more mindful that because maybe I am one of the more well-known DJs in the breaking community, that my music will have more of an impact, and like understanding, I guess, the responsibility that I have now that I didn't understand before. So I'm just being more mindful of that, of just like trying my best to keep the balance of bringing something old, but also bringing something new.
Right.
Old energy, but also in a new way. So I couldn't really tell you. I mean, maybe there'll be more of these production-based beats. I mean, it kind of looks like that, but I don't know, I'm more focused on what I could do at this moment to make it better. So, hard to say, but I hope better.
Yeah.
Better what it is right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to also try to throw more jams and hire other dope DJs. Or throw more parties and hire other dope DJs like, Irvin and B. Ryan and Flag and all these guys. So just to bring different vibes. Yeah. Because I think that's another thing that I've realized that is important, is just supporting even other DJs within the community that you vibe with,
Right.
Because everyone has something to offer. And maybe one of the guys, like, he's not as good spinning in the competition, but maybe he could kill it during the cypher time or whatever, And it's like good to get just a different feel sometimes. I know I've been spinning a lot of jams, and I know people could get tired of my shit sometimes, but I'm cool with that. It's all good. It happens. It's part of the game. There's only so much music out there.
Right.
Only so many ideas that I can come up with, so it is what it is, I just got to keep creating and keep looking.
Right. Yeah, I know in the past you did, collaboration with B. Ryan.
Yeah.
I think a lot of DJs should start doing that collaboration with each other, from Flag to B. Ryan, or, from Irvin, whoever, just start doing collaboration mixes.
Yeah, I guess part of it too, not necessarily talking about them, because I've done a bunch of shit with them, but I guess for some guys it could be competitive. So, especially a lot of guys that started off as B-boys and they become DJs, they kind of keep maybe the same attitude, but it's just like, with music, it's a little bit different. It could be competitive, but in a different way, because at the end of the day, our job is to play for the dancers. It's not to play for each other, So there's something that we all offer to this game that I think is important.
Right. Yeah, I mean, after your mix,
and collaboration is huge. You learn a lot through collaboration.
Yeah. You learn from one another, right? You're like, oh, crap, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, cool. And then you teach that other person something,
Yeah, exactly.
So that's dope.
Yeah.
I would like to hear, like, you guys release a horsepower mixtape though.
Yeah, again, right? Yeah.
That would be dope.
Tough, because a lot of the guys, they're not really focused on making great mixes anymore. I mean, I know Gump is busy doing his thing, and he's been like, he's still obviously digging like crazy, but he's like heavy into like fitness, and like he's like running marathons and shit like that. And then I know Timber just moved to Canada. He's actually going to be playing a freestyle session, which I'm like hyped about. Because I got to hear him spin in a minute at a jam. And he was like, besides Lacey, is probably like my biggest inspiration. So he just moved to Canada. I know he's getting settled in, and I haven't been able to like build with him as much like the past couple of years. And then Just Jones is doing his thing in the Bay. Woody, I don't know where the hell Woody is.
Somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe. Somewhere partying, I'm sure. And then a couple of guys like Shane, he has his family down in Florida. He's actually another guy that I think probably should play more jams in Florida. I think a lot of people don't really know about him, but he's based in like South Florida area.
Oh, okay.
And then Pogataro's doing his thing too. He's like, he has like an online record store or whatever. And yeah, he's doing his thing. He comes out to LA. We'll go digging together. He buy records for me, and then yeah, that's just doing his thing. So everyone's doing different things, but I think I'm probably the most active just in the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shouts to horsepower, man.
That's like how I'm making my living, so I have to be active. So yeah, shout out to all my power brothers. Hopefully we can release something soon. I think it'll be dope. It'll be something fresh for everyone.
Yeah, because for me, like, you know, like with turntablism, you have the Invincible Scratch Pickle, the Beat Junkies, but when it comes to break beats, bro, horsepower for me. You know what I mean? Like, when y'all came out, it was like, what? It was straight up, yo, it was dope.
That's heavy and hard beats for sure. But also shout out to Little Green Apples too, B. Ryan and Basic and Peyton Locke and all these guys. Like, they put in just as much work too, you know? So, like, that's like, kind of like my brothers too on the other side. Like, that's like family as well. Like, they have the same vision with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get B. Ryan on, you know, and again, that's why I'm doing it, right? Just it's not just I'm gonna get B-boys on or B-girls on, you know. It's, you know, promoters, DJ, because I feel like a lot of time DJ don't have a platform to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really dwell into your mindset, and people just see you guys.
Renegade likes talking a lot.
Yeah, but you hardly DJ no more, right? That's the word in the street. He's a judge. But
ties, bro.
I had Renegade on, and it was fun talking to him. But yeah, I mean, this is the whole point. I'm doing this, right? It's just to share and learn from each other, right? And get into the mind and have these conversations, because DJs, you guys don't have that platform to speak your mind a lot of time. They just know about you and go DJ, oh, you dope, you play dope music, but you know, people don't know what's the process behind the DJing aspect.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to describe it though through a post or whatever. You know, like, it's kind of one of those things you have to just spend the day with someone and then you understand more.
Right.
You know, I've like ranted or whatever, or said different shit online, but it's different when you get to actually build with someone in real life and see the process and just see the work behind it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would love
someone like, yo, this guy knows his shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I would love for, you know, the media channel that we have within our Breakin community to follow one of you guys, right? Just to know the ins and outs of, you know, what is it like for being a DJ within the Breakin community? Because we do a lot of b-boys and b-girls, you know, but the DJ is the backbone. With, you know,
sometimes it can be really boring though. You know, it's like, all right, I can go to a record store with us for a couple hours, and we're just like going through shit. You're not gonna capture it. So what I'm saying is, like, you gotta be there in person and just like going through it, you know. And even when I'm making music, I mean, I have like Stance do a couple of things, but it wasn't like we had enough time to show everyone the whole process, because, dude, it could take
days,
hours or days, you know.
Right.
And I could just be working on the drums for a couple of hours or something like that. So for them to like show that would be boring as shit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to capture it on film.
Well, the power of editing.
Like someone's like following you for like a documentary or something like this, then Yeah, I talked to Dan last episode,
And what I liked about, I told him like he should do more lifestyle pieces like he did with Yumi, where he followed, Yumi, and yeah, that takes a lot of time for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be dope if he start out, with that type of, storytelling type film
Yeah.
within our community, and then touch base with the DJ aspect as well,
Yeah.
and so people can see like, oh wow, okay, so that's what it takes,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I mean, I'm planning to get on, get other DJs on here, and it's great to have different people perspective or different style, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, B. Ryan or Flag or Irvin, whoever might, have the same mindset as you culturally, but they might have different perspective on how they approach it, right?
For sure.
So that's
Yeah, I definitely know, like, Irvin, like, his whole approach is different because of how he got into DJing. It's totally different from me. He got more into it, I guess, through, like, the party aspect and being around, like, the Root Down crew. So it's definitely dope to hear, like, his perspective.
Right.
I guess more of, like, a West Coast perspective overall.
Yeah, man.
Especially, I guess, like, my generation was a little bit different because it was kind of the first time that actually the term break DJ got coined. Prior to that, you were just a DJ or whatever, and it became so specific because we started having more competitions.
Right.
So that's kind of like the difference between like someone like myself that came up rather than someone like Element, like someone like Element. He's been playing jams for a long time, but during his time, like the DMC was really popping, and then just the scene was different. There wasn't as many competitions.
Right,
so the feel was just even different at jams. Whereas I guess when I started getting into competitions, like Alpha Fame was really popping, and then you had freestyle session qualifiers everywhere and Battle of the Year everywhere, and just a lot more events that were strictly focused on breaking.
Right. Like there's this whole
like
infrastructure.
Zoo Anniversary, like breaking would be happening, but there was also like performances on stage. There'd be like a DJ showcase. So now it's a little different,
Yeah.
So
it's
cool to get
onto breaking.
Yeah, it's hyper focused onto breaking. So before there was no such thing as 10-hour breaking events.
Right.
That didn't happen until I would say like early 2000s or so.
Right. And usually you get exhausted, right? I mean, everybody gets exhausted.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
10-hour jam.
Especially, especially like an event like Outbreak Europe, whatever. Like it's like 4 days. It's just like madness. I mean, the partying is mad fun, but they have a lot of people that go there that compete. And there was like 1 year where I played like 5 hours straight, just the prelims.
Right.
And I was just like, this is crazy. And then right after, I had to like play the party or something, and then I have to like play the competition again, and then I have to play the after party, and I have to play for this group. So it's just like,
bro,
it'd be crazy.
Yo,
it was like one weekend. I think I spent 17 hours just in one weekend.
Man,
at Outbreak Europe.
Damn, bro.
That's almost like a full day.
What? Yo, any
3 days. So this is actually rare. Like in a party scene, typically DJs they play for like one to like 4 hours.
Yo, Lean Rock. We got 30 seconds, bro. Any last message to the world?
Be in the moment. Just enjoy what you do. Carry on tradition. Learn from the elders. Also learn from the new generation. And just be passionate about what you do. That's it.